The Bible tells us before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear. This is not merely poetic language, but the revelation of an eternal truth. The fulfillment of your desire already exists in what I call the fourth dimensional reality. Your work is not to create it, but to simply enter into that state where it is already fulfilled. Let me explain what I mean by collapsing time. In your three-dimensional consciousness, you perceive events as occurring in sequence past, present, and future. But in the fourth dimension, which is your imagination, all exists simultaneously. There is no waiting, no process, no time gap between your desire and its fulfillment. They are one and the same. The great secret is this. You must assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, not tomorrow, not in some distant future, but no doubt. For in the realm of the spirit, which is your true home, there is only the eternal now, and it is from this eternal now that all manifestation springs forth. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are not projecting into the future. You are instead stepping into a present reality that already exists in the fourth dimension. You are collapsing time by bringing the future into the present moment through the power of your consciousness. Consider for a moment what it would feel like if your desire were already fulfilled. How would you sleep tonight? How would you walk? How would you talk to your friends? What would your inner conversations be like? Would you not be filled with a sense of gratitude, a feeling of completion, a knowing that what you once longed for is now yours? This feeling, this assumption, this state of consciousness is what collapses time. It bridges the gap between your current three-dimensional experience and the fourth dimensional reality where your desire already exists in its completed state. Let me share with you a principle that has transformed countless lives, including my own. The principle is simple. You must persist in the assumption that your desire is already fulfilled. This persistence is not a matter of physical effort, but of mental conviction. It is the unwavering faith that what you are imagining is not fiction, but fact, not future, but present. The outer world, with all its circumstances and conditions, is nothing more than a shadow, a reflection of your inner states of consciousness. Change the inner, and the outer must follow, for they are one and the same reality viewed from different dimensions. Consider a man who desires financial abundance. He may spend years struggling, working tirelessly, only to find himself in the same state of lack. Why? Because in his imagination, in his inner conversations, he remains a man who needs money, who lacks it, who must work for it. But should he instead assume the feeling of already possessing wealth, should he sleep each night in the consciousness of abundance, should he walk and talk and think from the state of being financially free, he would find that circumstances would rearrange themselves to match his inner assumption. This is not magic or wishful thinking. This is the operation of a law as consistent as gravity. Your consciousness is the only reality, and the outer world must conform to the inner assumptions of your consciousness. It has no choice in the matter, for there is no power outside of your own consciousness that can withstand the conviction of your assumption. But many of you may say, I have tried to imagine my desire fulfilled, yet it has not come to pass. To you I say, you have not truly assumed the state of your wish fulfilled. You have not collapsed time. You have stood outside your desire, looking at it as something separate from yourselves, something to be attained, something in the future. The secret to collapsing time is to so completely identify with the state of your wish fulfilled that you can no longer distinguish between what is and what will be. When you can say with absolute conviction, I am what I desire to be, when you can feel it so completely that it consumes your being, when you can live from that state as naturally as you now live from your current state, then you have collapsed time. The great mystics and spiritual teachers of all ages have known this truth. When Jesus said, therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. He was not speaking of some distant fulfillment, but of an immediate identification with the state of having already received. Your imagination is the God power within you. It is the creative force to which all things come into being. When you imagine, you are literally creating reality, not a reality that will manifest someday in the future, but a reality that exists now in the fourth dimension and must, by law, objectify itself in your three-dimensional experience. Let me give you a technique that has proven effective for countless individuals who have applied it with understanding and conviction. I call it living from the end. It involves a complete mental and emotional relocation from where you are to where you desire to be. Before you sleep tonight, quiet your mind and body. Relax into a state where you are receptive, where your conscious reasoning mind is temporarily suspended. In this state, construct a scene that would imply the fulfillment of your desire. Make it as vivid as possible. See it, touch it, taste it, smell it, hear it. Make it real in your consciousness. Then, most importantly, step into this scene. Be not a spectator, but a participant. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the absolute knowing that your desire is now fulfilled. Fall asleep in this state, carrying this feeling with you into the depth of your being. What you are doing in this moment is collapsing time. You are bringing the future into the present. You are living from the end, from the state of fulfillment, rather than working toward it. But remember, this is not a one-time exercise. You must persist in this assumption until it becomes your natural state of being. The outer world may not immediately reflect your inner change, but do not be discouraged. The seed has been planted, and it must grow. The bridge between the inner and outer worlds is being built, and in due season, your three-dimensional experience will reflect the fourth-dimensional reality you have established in your consciousness. Many make the mistake of returning to their old state of consciousness after a brief excursion into the state of their wish fulfilled. They take a peek at their desire, so to speak, but do not move in and occupy it. As a result, they oscillate between states, and their manifestations are inconsistent or non-existent. Collapsing time requires a complete transformation of consciousness. It demands that you no longer see yourself as lacking what you desire, but as already possessing it. This is not pretense or self-deception. This is the recognition of a metaphysical fact. That which you seek is already yours in the eternal now of the fourth dimension. Consider the story of the prodigal son. He had to come to himself before he could return to his father's house. This coming to oneself is the awakening to the truth that you are already what you seek to be. It is the realization that you have never been separate from your good, that it has always been within you, waiting for your recognition and acceptance. This is the art of collapsing time, to so completely identify with your desire that you and it become one. There is no gap, no separation, no waiting period. There is only the eternal now where all possibilities exist simultaneously, and your consciousness selects which of these possibilities would become your experience. But let me caution you, this power is not to be used lightly or for frivolous ends. The law operates with mathematical precision. And as you sow in your imagination, so shall you reap in your experience. Therefore, be conscious of what you are assuming, for it will objectify itself in your world. Your desires should be worthy of you, noble and uplifting. They should contribute to your growth and the welfare of others. For as you expand your consciousness through the fulfillment of your desires, you contribute to the expansion of all consciousness. Many of you are probably wondering about the practicalities of this approach. You may be thinking, but what about action? Don't I need to do something in the physical world to realize my desires? Action will be necessary, yes, but it will be inspired action, action that flows naturally from your new state of consciousness. When you have truly collapsed time and are living from the state of your wish fulfilled, you will find that opportunities present themselves, doors open, and the right people and circumstances appear as if by magic. This is not to say that you should sit idly by doing nothing. Rather, your actions will be guided by an inner knowing, an intuitive sense of what to do and when to do it. You will no longer act from a place of lack or need, but from a place of abundance and fulfillment. Remember, the outer world is a shadow of your inner state. Change the inner, and the outer must follow. This is the law, and it cannot be broken. Those who understand this law and apply it with faith and persistence are the masters of their destiny, the creators of their reality. Let me share with you a personal experience that illustrates this principle. Many years ago, I desired to travel to New York to share these teachings with a wider audience. At the time, I had no means to make such a journey. I had no money for travel, no contacts in New York, no outward way to fulfill this desire. But instead of focusing on these limitations, I began to live from the state of already being in New York, already sharing these teachings with receptive audiences. In my imagination, I walked the streets of New York. I felt the excitement of speaking to crowded halls. I heard the applause and saw the transformation in the faces of those who listened. I persisted in this state, living from it night and day, until it became more real to me than my physical surroundings. And then, without any effort on my part, a series of events unfolded that led to an invitation to speak in New York, with all expenses paid. This is the power of collapsing time. I did not create the opportunity through physical effort or conventional means. I created it through the assumption of a state of consciousness, and that state externalized itself as my physical reality. You too can apply this principle to every area of your life. Whether your desires for health, wealth, love, or creative expression, the process is the same. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Persist in that assumption, and watch as your outer world reshapes itself to match your inner conviction. But remember, the key is feeling. You must feel your way into the state of your wish fulfilled. Intellectual understanding alone is not enough. You must emotionally identify with your desire as already fulfilled. This feeling is the secret, the bridge between dimensions, the means by which you collapse time. Many people ask, how long will it take for my desire to manifest? This question itself reveals a misunderstanding of the principle. When you truly collapse time, there is no waiting, no how long. There is only the now in which your desire is already fulfilled. Your experience of time of waiting for your desire to manifest is simply a reflection of your consciousness. If you are still looking for your desire, if you are still waiting for it, then you have not fully assumed the state of its fulfillment. You are still standing outside looking in. To collapse time is to eliminate this sense of waiting, this gap between desire and fulfillment. It is to live so completely in the consciousness of having that the very idea of waiting becomes meaningless. Consider this: if you already had what you desire, would you be looking for it? Would you be wondering when it will come? Of course not. You would be enjoying it, living with it, experiencing it as a natural part of your life. This is the feeling you must capture and maintain, not the feeling of wanting or hoping or waiting, but the feeling of having, of being, of living from the state of fulfillment. And here is a profound truth that many miss. The feeling of having precedes the physical manifestation. It does not follow it. Most people believe they will feel the joy of having when their desire manifests physically. But the truth is, they must feel the joy of having before the physical manifestation can occur. This reversal of the conventional understanding of cause and effect is essential to collapsing time. Your feeling is the cause, the physical manifestation is the effect. And between cause and effect, there is no gap, no time lapse in the true sense of reality. What appears as a time lag in your three-dimensional experience is simply the working out of details, the rearrangement of conditions to match your new state of consciousness. But in the fourth dimension, in the realm of consciousness, the fulfillment is instantaneous. Let us explore another aspect of this principle. Your physical senses will always show you evidence of your past assumptions, not your present ones. This is why persistence is necessary. You must continue to live from the state of your wish fulfilled, even when your senses deny its reality. This persistence is not a matter of effort, but of faith. It is the conviction that what you are imagining is more real, more substantial than what your physical senses are showing you. It is the understanding that your senses are showing you reflections of past states of consciousness, not the reality that you are creating now. In the Bible, faith is defined as the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This is a perfect description of the state of consciousness required to collapse time. Your faith, your unwavering assumption of the reality of your desire, is the substance that will objectify as your physical experience. And what of those who say, but I have tried this, and it doesn't work for me? To them I say, examine your consciousness. Are you truly living from the state of your wish fulfilled? Or are you merely visiting it occasionally? Are you consistently assuming the feeling of your desire accomplished, or do you fluctuate between faith and doubt? Collapsing time requires a steadfastness of consciousness that many have not yet developed. It requires a mental and emotional discipline that goes beyond momentary visualizations or affirmations. It demands a complete reorganization of your inner life, a total commitment to the reality of your desire as already fulfilled. This commitment is not something you do once and then forget. It is a continuous state of being, a way of living from day to day, moment to moment. It is the consistent occupation of the state of consciousness that corresponds to your desire fulfilled. Many fail because they treat this as a technique rather than a transformation. They imagine their desire fulfilled for a few minutes before sleep, but during their waking hours they return to their old patterns of thought and feeling. They thus nullify their brief excursions into the fourth dimension with hours of contradictory consciousness. To truly collapse time, you must make your new state of consciousness your dwelling place. You must live there, sleep there, work there, play there. You must be so thoroughly saturated with the feeling of your wish fulfilled that it becomes your default state of being. This doesn't mean you won't have moments of doubt or fear. You are human, and such moments are natural. But it does mean that you will immediately recognize these moments for what they are: temporary excursions from your true state, and return to the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. The power to collapse time is already within you. It is your divine inheritance, your birthright as a spiritual being. You need only claim it through the consistent assumption of the state of consciousness that corresponds to your desire fulfilled. Let me give you a practical exercise to help you develop this power. Tonight, before you sleep, select one desire that you wish to manifest. Make it something that is meaningful to you, something that would bring genuine joy and fulfillment if realized. Now, close your eyes and construct a scene that would imply the fulfillment of this desire. Make it as vivid and as real as possible. Use all your senses to enter into it completely. For example, if your desire is for a loving relationship, imagine yourself lying in bed next to your beloved, feeling their warmth, hearing their breathing, experiencing the deep contentment of being loved and loving in return. If your desire is for financial abundance, imagine yourself looking at a bank statement that shows the exact amount you desire, feeling the security and freedom that comes with that abundance, perhaps sharing your good fortune with those you love. Whatever your desire, create a scene that would naturally occur if that desire were already fulfilled. Then step into that scene. Be not a spectator but a participant. Feel it, live it, become one with it. As you fall asleep in this state, you are planting a seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. This seed will grow and in due season will manifest as your physical reality. But remember, this is not a one-time exercise. You must return to this state and again and awaken your habitual consciousness until the very thought of your desire being unfulfilled becomes impossible to you. This is how you collapse time. This is how you bring the future into the present. This is how you manifest your desires effortlessly, not through struggle and strain, but through the simple yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Now let us address a question that often arises. What about others involved in your desire? What if your desire involves other people, their choices, their free will? This is where many become entangled in concepts of manipulation or control. But understand this, you are not controlling others when you assume a state that includes their cooperation or participation. You are simply selecting a version of reality in which they freely choose to align with your desire. The universe is infinite, containing all possible states and all possible variations of every state. When you assume a particular state, you are not forcing anyone to conform to your desire. You are simply shifting your own consciousness to a reality where your desire is already fulfilled. And in that reality, others respond accordingly, not because they are compelled to, but because in that version of reality, that is their natural response. This is not manipulation. It is the recognition that all reality is an expression of consciousness. Change your consciousness, and you change the version of reality you experience. including the behaviors and attitudes of others within that reality. But always approach this with love and respect for others. Your desires should never involve harm or limitation for another being. They should be expansive, uplifting, contributing to the welfare of all involved. For in the true recognition of the unity of all consciousness, what benefits one benefits all. Another question that often arises is about timing. Even when you have successfully collapsed time in your consciousness, there may appear to be delays in the physical manifestation of your desire. This is due to what I call the bridge of incidents, the series of events that must occur to bring about the physical realization of your desire. While in the fourth dimension all is instantaneous in the three-dimensional world, there is a sequence of events, a logical progression from one state to another. This sequence is not something you need to plan or figure out. It will unfold naturally and inevitably once you have established your new state of consciousness. Your work is not to determine how your desire will manifest or when it will appear. Your work is simply to maintain the state of consciousness that corresponds to your desire fulfilled, and to let the law operate in its own perfect way and in its own perfect timing. Many become impatient and abandon their assumption because they do not see immediate results. This is a mistake. The seed has been planted and it must grow. The bridge of incidents is being built and it will lead inevitably to the physical manifestation of your desire. Trust in the law, have faith in the process. Know that once you have assumed the feeling of your wish fulfilled, nothing can prevent its manifestation except your own return to a contradictory state of consciousness. This trust, this faith is not blind belief. It is based on understanding the law that governs all manifestation. Consciousness is the only reality, and your three-dimensional world is simply a shadow, a reflection of your states of consciousness. Change your consciousness and you change your world. This is the law, and it operates with mathematical precision, regardless of your belief or disbelief in it. The great secret to collapsing time and manifesting your desires effortlessly is to so completely identify with the state of your wish fulfilled that you live from it as naturally as you now live from your current state. This is not a technique to be applied occasionally, but a way of being, a continuous state of consciousness. For those who truly grasp this principle and apply it with understanding and persistence, there are no limits. All things become possible because all things already exist in consciousness, waiting to be called forth through the power of assumption. You are not fighting against circumstances or conditions. You are not trying to overpower obstacles or limitations. You are simply shifting your consciousness to a reality where those obstacles and limitations do not exist, where your desire is already fulfilled. This is the true meaning of the biblical phrase, all things are possible to him that believeth. Belief, in this context, is not intellectual assent to a proposition. It is the complete extent of a state of consciousness, the full identification with a particular reality. When you believe in your desire as already fulfilled, when you live from that belief, when it becomes so real to you that you can no longer doubt its reality, then you have truly collapsed time. And your desire must manifest in your physical experience. This is the law, and it cannot fail. If it appears to fail, it is only because you have not fully assumed the state of your wish fulfilled, or because you have returned to a contradictory state after a brief sojourn in the state of fulfillment. The power to collapse time is your divine inheritance. It is the creative power that shapes worlds and determines destinies. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, and use it with the full recognition of its limitless potential. For in the end, all manifestation is simply the externalization of your own consciousness, the objectification of your own assumptions. Change your assumptions and you change your world. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled, and you collapse time, bringing the future into the present, manifesting your desires effortlessly through the power of your own divine imagination. This is the great secret, the master key to the universe. It has always been available to you, waiting for your recognition and acceptance. Take it now. Use it now. Transform your life now through the simple yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. In the words of Scripture, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This renewal, this transformation is not a distant goal, but an immediate possibility. It is available to you here and now, in this very moment, through the power of your consciousness. Step into the state of your wish fulfilled. Live from it, think from it, feel from it. Make it your dwelling place, your natural habitat. And watch as your outer world reshapes itself to match your inner assumption. This is the way to collapse time and manifest every desire effortlessly. Not through struggle and strain, not through arduous techniques or complicated rituals, but through the simple yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. You are the operant power in your universe. You are the God power expressing itself as you. Recognize this truth, claim your power, and use it to create the life you desire and deserve. For in the recognition of your true self, your divine nature, you find the key to all manifestation, the path to all fulfillment, the secret to collapsing time and bringing your desires into instant realization. The world is yourself pushed out. It is the mirror of your consciousness, the projection of your assumptions. Change your consciousness, and you change your world. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled, and you collapse time, manifesting your desires effortlessly through the power of your own divine imagination. This is the law, and it cannot fail. It operates with mathematical precision, regardless of your belief or disbelief in it. It is as consistent as gravity, as reliable as the rising and setting of the sun. Use this law consciously, deliberately, and with understanding. Apply it to every area of your life. Live from the end, from the state of fulfillment, rather than working toward it. And watch as miracles unfold in your experience, as desires manifest effortlessly, as time collapses, bringing the future into the present through the power of your consciousness. Remember, you are not bound by time or space or circumstance. You are bound only by your assumptions. Change your assumptions, and you change your world. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and you collapse time, manifesting your desires effortlessly through the power of your own divine imagination. This is the secret I share with you tonight. Take it into your consciousness. Apply it with understanding and persistence, and experience the transformation that must follow as surely as day follows night. For you are the operant power in your universe, the God power expressing itself as you. Recognize this truth, claim your power, and use it to create the life you desire and deserve. In the words of Scripture, all things are possible to him that believeth. Not some things, not many things, but all things. There are no limitations except those you accept in your consciousness. There are no obstacles except those you create through your assumptions. The power to collapse time and manifest every desire effortlessly is already within you. It is your divine inheritance, your birthright as a spiritual being. Claim it now. Use it now. And watch as your life transforms through the simple, yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. For in the end, all manifestation is simply the externalization of your own consciousness, the objectification of your own assumptions. Change your assumptions and you change your world. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled, and you collapse time, bringing the future into the present, manifesting your desires effortlessly through the power of your own divine imagination. This is the great secret, the master key to the universe. It has always been available to you, waiting for your recognition and acceptance. Take it now. Use it now. Transform your life now through the simple yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. And know that as you apply this principle, as you live from the state of your wish fulfilled, you are not just changing your individual experience. You are contributing to the transformation of all consciousness, to the awakening of all beings to their true divine nature. For in the ultimate reality, there is only one consciousness, one being, expressing itself through seemingly separate individuals. As you awaken to the power of your consciousness, as you learn to collapse time and manifest your desires effortlessly, You help to elevate all consciousness, to bring all beings closer to the recognition of their divine nature. This is your gift to the world, your contribution to the evolution of consciousness. And it begins with the simple, yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, of living from the end, of collapsing time through the power of your divine imagination. Take this gift, use it wisely, apply it with love and understanding, and watch as miracles unfold in your experience, as desires manifest effortlessly, as time collapses, bringing the future into the present through the power of your consciousness. For you are the operant power in your universe, the God power expressing itself as you. Recognize this truth, claim your power, and use it to create the life you desire and deserve. And know that as you do so, you are fulfilling your divine purpose, expressing your true nature, contribute to the awakening of all beings to their divine essence. This is the ultimate manifestation, the highest use of the power to collapse time and manifest desires effortlessly. Use this power with reverence, with gratitude, and with the recognition of its sacred nature. For it is the creative force through which all things come into being, the divine principle expressing itself through your consciousness. And as you align your consciousness with this principle, as you live from the state of your wish fulfilled, you become a conscious co-creator with the divine and the divine manifesto of your reality, a master of time and circumstance through the power of your consciousness. This is your birthright. This is your destiny. This is the truth of your being, waiting only for your recognition and acceptance. Claim it now. Live from it now. And watch as your life transforms through the simple yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. For in the words of Scripture, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Not as he will think, but as he thinks now, in this moment. Not as he will be, but as he is now, in consciousness. The future is not something to be created. It is something to be entered, to be assumed, to be lived from in the eternal now of consciousness. This is the secret to collapsing time and manifesting every desire effortlessly. Not through effort or struggle, not through arduous techniques or complicated rituals, but through the simple yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Take this secret into your consciousness, apply it with understanding and persistence, and experience the transformation that must follow as surely as day follows night. For you are the operant power in your universe, the God power expressing itself as you. Recognize this truth, claim your power, and use it to create the life you desire and deserve. In closing, remember these words, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This renewal, this transformation is not a distant goal, but an immediate possibility. It is available to you here and now, in this very moment, through the power of your consciousness. Step into the state of your wish fulfilled. Live from it, think from it, feel from it. Make it your dwelling place, your natural habitat. And watch as your outer world reshapes itself to match your inner assumption. This is the way to collapse time and manifest every desire effortlessly, not through struggle and strain, not through arduous techniques or complicated rituals, but through the simple yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. You are the operant power in your universe. You are the God power expressing itself as you. Recognize this truth, claim your power, and use it to create the life you desire and deserve. For in the recognition of your true self, your divine nature, you find the key to all manifestation, the path to all fulfillment, the secret to collapsing time and bringing your desires into instant realization. The world is yourself pushed out. It is the mirror of your consciousness, the projection of your assumptions. Change your consciousness and you change your world. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled, and you collapse time manifesting your desires effortlessly through the power of your own divine imagination. Let me tell you a great truth that most of the world has yet to comprehend. You are not what you appear to be. You are not this limited mortal being trapped in circumstances. You are all imagination, and imagination is God. Therefore, you are God in the most literal sense. temporarily occupying a garment of flesh to experience your own wonderful creation. And just as God can speak worlds into existence, you too possess this same creative power to speak your world into being. Now, I know this may seem fantastic to some of you, but I am not here to theorize or philosophize. I am here to share with you what I know to be true through my own experience and the experiences of countless others who have applied this law. The transformation you seek in 2025 is not something that will happen to you. It is something that must happen within you first. Consider this. When you go to your home tonight and prepare for sleep, you will naturally disappear from this world of Caesar. Your physical body will rest, but your consciousness, your true self, remains ever active, ever aware. This simple act of daily disappearance holds the key to your transformation. For in that state between waking and sleeping lies the most fertile soil for planting the seeds of your desires. Let me tell you exactly what I mean. When you desire to transform any aspect of your life, you must first learn to disappear from your current state of consciousness. Just as you naturally disappear from this world when you sleep, you must learn to disappear from your present concept of self. This is not a metaphor. I am speaking of an actual psychological technique that, when mastered, will transform your entire life with mathematical precision. Now let us delve deeper into this principle. The Bible, which is not a historical document but a psychological drama, tells us, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." This transformation is not something that happens gradually through external effort. It happens instantly when you succeed in disappearing from your current state of consciousness and occupying the state of your wish fulfilled. Think of it this way. Right now you hold a certain concept for yourself. You may see yourself as lacking in some way, perhaps financially limited or unfulfilled in your relationships, or restricted in your career. This self-concept feels solid and real because you have given it life through your attention and belief. But I tell you, it is nothing more than a garment you have worn so long you have forgotten it. It's not your true self. The secret to transformation in 2025 lies not in adding something new to your current state, but in completely disappearing from it. You must die to your present concept of self. And this death is not a physical death, but a psychological one. It is the complete abandonment of all that you now consider yourself to be. Let me share with you a simple but powerful technique. Tonight, when you lay your head upon your pillow, instead of reviewing the day's events or worrying about tomorrow, consciously choose to disappear from your present circumstances. Feel yourself sink deeper and deeper into the awareness of being who you wish to be. Do not think of how you will become this person. That is the old way of thinking that keeps you bound to your current state. Instead, yield completely to the feeling of being your desired self. If you wish to be wealthy, feel the naturalness of wealth. If you seek perfect health, feel the lightness and vitality of a perfectly healthy body. If you desire a loving relationship, feel the warmth and security of being deeply loved. The secret is to persist in this feeling until it becomes more real to you than your physical surroundings. You see, in 2025, you are not trying to change things in the world of Caesar. You are claiming your rightful place as the operant power of your universe. The outer world, no matter how solid it appears, is nothing more than a shadow, a reflection of your inner assumptions. Change the assumption, and you change the reflection. This is the law. I am reminded of a lady who came to me in dire circumstances. She was facing financial ruin, her relationships were in shambles, and her health was failing. She asked me what she should do to change her life. I told her exactly what I'm telling you now. Disappear completely from that state. She looked at me bewildered, expecting some complex system of affirmations or external actions. But I told her, your outer world is nothing more than your inner conversations objectified. Change your inner conversation, and you change everything. She began to practice this principle. Each night before sleep, she would disappear completely from her troubled state and assume the feeling of being the person she wished to be. She would feel the satisfaction of financial abundance, the joy of harmonious relationships, the vitality of perfect health. Within 3 months, her entire world transformed. Money came to her through unexpected channels. Her relationships healed in ways she could never have planned, and her health restored itself naturally. This was not coincidence or luck. It was the perfect working of law. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, my circumstances are different. You don't understand my particular situation? I tell you, circumstances do not matter. Your current situation, no matter how desperate or seemingly permanent, is nothing more than a shadow cast by your previous assumptions. Change the assumption, and the shadow must change. In 2025, you must learn to distinguish between what Blake called the reality and its shadow. Your true reality is not what your senses show you. It is what your imagination claims it to be. The world of Caesar, with all its limitations and problems, is merely a shadow. You are the light casting that shadow, and you can change it at will by changing your conception of self. Let me give you a specific technique for this transformation. I call it the art of assumption. When you wish to transform any aspect of your life, you must first ask yourself, how would I feel if I were already the person I wish to be? Then, in that quiet moment before sleep, you must generate that feeling with all the intensity you can muster. Do not worry about the how. The how is not your concern. Your only task is to remain faithful to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. The infinite intelligence within you, call it God, call it your subconscious mind, call it what you will, knows exactly how to bring about the conditions necessary for the fulfillment of your desire. Remember, in 2025, you are not trying to make things happen. You are allowing them to happen by assuming the right state of consciousness. This is why I tell you to disappear from your present state. As long as you remain mentally tied to your current circumstances, trying to improve them or fight against them, you perpetuate them. Consider the story of the prodigal son. This parable is not about a wayward youth who physically returned home. It is about consciousness returning to its rightful state. The far country where he wasted his substance is the state of consciousness where you currently find yourself if you are not experiencing your desires. The Father's house where there is abundance and joy is the state of consciousness you wish to occupy. The journey home is not a physical journey, but a psychological one. It is the journey of disappearing from one state of consciousness and appearing in another. And just as the father in the parable did not ask where the son had been or what he had done, your own wonderful human imagination does not care about your past or your present circumstances. It only responds to what you are conscious of being now. In 2025, you must learn to be ruthless with yourself in this regard. When you catch yourself thinking from your old state of consciousness, thinking thoughts of limitation or lack, you must immediately disappear from that state. Do not fight these thoughts. Fighting them gives them power. Simply withdraw your attention from them and place it fully on the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is what the scripture means when it says, leave the dead to bury their dead. Your old states of consciousness, your old problems and limitations are the dead. Let them bury themselves. Your task is to occupy the new state, to live from the assumption that what you desire is already yours. Now let me share with you another vital aspect of this transformation. Your outer world is nothing more than your inner conversations objectified. What are you saying to yourself throughout the day? What mental conversations do you carry on with others? These conversations, these inner debates and discussions are creating your future experiences. In 2025, you must become aware of these inner conversations and deliberately change them to align with your desires. If you wish to be wealthy, what kinds of conversations would you have if you were already wealthy? If you seek perfect health, what would your inner dialogue be if you were already in perfect health? Begin now to have these conversations internally. This is not pretense or self-deception. This is the actual creative process by which your world is formed. Your inner conversations are the breeding ground of your future experiences. Change the conversation and you change the experience. This is law. Remember, the Bible tells us, in the beginning was the Word. This is not referring to spoken words, but to your inner speech, your self-talk, your mental conversations. These are the words that create your world. In 2025, become conscious of these conversations and deliberately choose ones that imply the fulfillment of your desires. Let me tell you of a gentleman who came to me seeking to transform his career. He was stuck in a position he hated, feeling trapped and unable to advance. I told him to change his inner conversations about his work. Instead of mentally complaining about his current position, he began to have inner conversations implying he was already in his desired position. He would mentally hear congratulations from colleagues, discuss his new responsibilities with imaginary co-workers, feel the satisfaction of doing work he loved. Within weeks, an opportunity appeared that perfectly matched his desires. This was not coincidence, it was the law in operation. Now, some of you might be wondering about timing. You might be thinking, how long will this take? When will I see results? I tell you, time is purely psychological. What seems to take months or years in Caesar's world can happen in an instant when you succeed in reaching the right state of consciousness. In 2025, you must learn to live in the end. The end is the feeling of your wish fulfilled. When you truly capture this feeling and maintain it, time dissolves. The events and circumstances necessary for the manifestation of your desire will unfold naturally and effortlessly. This is why I tell you to disappear from your present state. As long as you are conscious of time, as long as you are waiting for something to happen, you are not living in the end. You are still caught in the consciousness of absence, of wanting, of seeking. This consciousness can only create more wanting, more seeking. Instead, assume the consciousness of already being what you wish to be. Feel it so intensely that it crowds out all other thoughts and feelings. This is what it means to pray without ceasing, to maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled regardless of appearances. Remember the words of Scripture before they call, I will answer. This means that the fulfillment of your desire already exists. It is not something to be created. It is something to be claimed through your assumption of the right state of consciousness. In 2025, you must learn to trust this process completely. Do not be like doubting Thomas, needing to see before you believe. Be like the Master who said, blessed are those who have not seen and yet believed. Your imagination, fed by your assumption and sustained by your inner conversations, is creating your future now. Let me give you another technique for this transformation. I call it revision. Each night before you sleep, review the events of your day. But do not review them as they occurred. Revise them to match your desired state of being. See them happening in a way that implies the fulfillment of your desires. This is not merely positive thinking or wishful daydreaming. This is actively engaging your creative power to reshape your world. When you revise an event, you are actually changing the seed from which future events will grow. This is why the Scripture says the former things shall not be remembered or come into mind. In 2025, make revision a daily practice. If you had an unpleasant encounter, revise it to be harmonious. If you faced a financial setback, revise it to show abundance. If you experienced any lack or limitation, revise it to demonstrate fulfillment and expansion. Do this faithfully, and you will be amazed at how your world begins to transform. Remember, you are not trying to change things, you are changing yourself. When you change your concept of self, when you succeed in occupying a new state of consciousness, the outer world must change to reflect this inner transformation. This is law. Let me tell you of another success story. A woman came to me in deep depression. She had lost her job, her savings were depleted, and she felt completely worthless. I taught her this principle of revision. Each night she would revise her day to show herself as successful, prosperous, and deeply fulfilled. At first it seemed mechanical, even foolish to her, but she persisted. Within weeks, her entire world began to shift. Opportunities appeared that she could never have planned. People from her past contacted her with profitable ventures. Her bank account began to grow. Most importantly, her feeling of worthlessness disappeared completely. This transformation didn't happen because she changed things in the outer world. It happened because she successfully disappeared from her old state of consciousness and occupied a new one. The outer changes were simply the shadow adjusting to match the new light. In 2025, you must become aware of another crucial principle. Everyone in your world is yourself pushed out. Every person you encounter is simply playing the part that your consciousness has assigned them. Change your consciousness, and they must change their behavior toward you. This is why it's futile to try to change others or to blame them for your circumstances. They are simply reflecting back to you your own state of consciousness. When you successfully disappear from a state of consciousness that attracts negative experiences, the people in your world must either change their behavior or disappear from your life. Remember, consciousness is the only reality. Everything else, people, circumstances, events, are simply shadows cast by your consciousness. Change the consciousness and the shadows must change. This is not theory, this is law. Let me share with you one final technique for your transformation in 2025. I call it the congratulatory scene. Select a scene that would imply the fulfillment of your desire. Make it a scene where someone is congratulating you on having achieved your goal. Feel the handshake, hear the words of congratulation, experience the joy of achievement. Make this scene so vivid, so real, that when you open your eyes, you will feel as though it actually happened. Do this night after night until the feeling of achievement becomes your dominant feeling. This is not visualization or positive thinking. This is entering to a state of consciousness where your desire is already fulfilled. When you succeed in making this state feel natural to you, when you can live and move and have your being in it, your outer world must reshape itself to match this inner conviction. In 2025, you must learn to trust this process completely. Do not be concerned with the how. Do not try to make things happen. Simply occupy the right state of consciousness and let the infinite intelligence within you bring about the manifestation in its own perfect way. Remember, the outside world is dead, subsisting only on the life you give it through your attention and belief. Withdraw your attention from unwanted conditions. Give your full attention and allegiance to your desired state. Live from that state, think from that state, speak from that state. Your transformation in 2025 is not something that will happen to you. It is something that must happen within you. When you successfully disappear from your current state of consciousness and fully occupy the state of your wish fulfilled, the outer world has no choice but to transform itself accordingly. This is the law, and the law does not fail. It operates with mathematical precision. Your task is simply to apply it faithfully, persistently, until your desired state becomes your natural state. Then you will understand the truth of the statement, all things are possible to him who believes. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, remember this: you are all imagination. The world you experience is simply your imagination pushed out. In 2025, claim your rightful place as the operant power in your universe. Disappear completely from states of lack and limitation. Occupy fully the state of your wish fulfilled. Do this faithfully, persist in it. And I promise you, your world must transform to match your new conception of self. This is not magic, not positive thinking, not wishful dreaming. This is the law of consciousness in operation, and it never fails. Let this be your practice in 2025. Die daily to your old self, to your old concepts and limitations. Be born anew each day in the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. Live from that consciousness. Think from it. Speak from it. Do this, and you will experience the truth of the statement, all things work together for good to them that love God. And remember, God is your own wonderful human imagination. The transformation you seek is already complete in the imagination of God, your imagination. Your task is simply to enter into that completion, to occupy it fully, to live from it faithfully. Do this, and watch your world transform in ways you could never have planned or anticipated. For in 2025, you are not seeking to add something new to your life. You are claiming what is already yours by divine. Imagine, if you will, that your current reality is like a garment you wear. It may feel comfortable, familiar, even inevitable. But I assure you, it is no more permanent or real than the clothes on your back. You can change it just as easily as you change your attire. The secret lies in your focus, in your ability to direct your attention and consciousness. As we step into 2025, I urge you to make a profound shift in your awareness. Instead of looking outward for validation, success, or happiness, turn your gaze inward. For it is within you that the true source of all creation lies. Your outer world is but a reflection of your inner state, a mirror of your consciousness. Now you might be wondering, Neville, how can focusing on myself change my reality? And therein lies the crux of our discussion today. Your consciousness, your awareness is the very substance of reality. When you change your concept of self, when you alter your inner world, the outer must conform to match this new inner conviction. You see, the world you experience is not happening to you. It is happening from you. Every circumstance, every event, every interaction in your life is a reflection of your inner state. These are not random occurrences, but the outpicturing of your assumptions, your beliefs, your focus. This is why many people find themselves stuck in patterns of lack, of struggle, of not enoughness. They have unknowingly been focusing on these very states, giving their attention to what they don't want rather than what they do want. They look to the outside world to dictate their inner state, not realizing that it works in precisely the opposite way. But here's the liberating truth. You have the power to choose where you place your focus. You have the ability to consciously direct your attention to cultivate a concept of self that aligns with your deepest desires. This, my friends, is the key to transforming your reality in 2025 and beyond. So how do we begin this process of focusing on ourselves? The first step is awareness. Become acutely conscious of where your attention currently resides. Notice how much of your mental energy is spent on external circumstances, on the opinions of others, on things beyond your control. Simply observing this without judgment is the first step towards change. Once you've become aware of your current focus, the next step is to consciously redirect it. This is where the real work begins. For the next year, I want you to make a commitment to focus primarily on your inner world, on your concept of self, on the person you wish to be. This doesn't mean you ignore your responsibilities or relationships. Rather, it means you approach them from a different perspective. Instead of allowing external circumstances to dictate your state of being, you choose your state first and then engage with the world from that chosen state. For example, If you desire success in your career, instead of focusing on the obstacles or competition, focus on embodying the state of a successful person. How would a highly successful individual in your field think? How would they carry themselves? How would they approach challenges? Assume this state in your imagination, feel its reality, and then act from this assumed state. Remember, it's not about pretending or faking it. It's about recognizing that the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. When you change your concept of self, when you focus on embodying the state of the person you wish to be, your outer world must reshape itself to match this new inner conviction. As you practice this new focus throughout 2025, you may find that your outer world begins to shift. Opportunities may arise that align with your new self-concept. People may respond to you differently. You may find yourself feeling more confident, more capable, more aligned with your desires. These changes may start small. A compliment from a colleague, a moment of unexpected clarity, a fortunate coincidence. Do not dismiss these as mere chance. They are the first fruits of your new focus taking root in the fertile soil of your consciousness. Now let us address a common challenge in this practice, the apparent contradictions of your senses. As you begin to focus on your desired self-concept, you may find that your current circumstances seem to contradict your new assumptions. How do you maintain your focus in the face of these seeming contradictions? This is where faith comes in. Not blind faith, but faith born of understanding. Understanding that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. What you see around you is the result of past focus, past assumptions. It is like an echo of what you once believed. Your task now is to give more attention, more importance, more reality to your new concept of self than to these outdated circumstances. This practice requires mental discipline. It requires you to stand firm in your new assumptions, even when your senses argue against them. But remember, your senses only show you what has been, not what can be. Your imagination, informed by your new focus, shows you what will be. As you persist in maintaining this new focus on yourself, even in the face of contradictory evidence, you will begin to see changes in your outer world. These changes may start small, but they will grow. For you are planting new seeds in the garden of your mind, and these seeds must by natural law grow into the fruits of your new reality. Now let us delve deeper into the nature of this self-focus. When I speak of focusing on yourself, I am not referring merely to self-improvement or acquiring new skills, though these can be part of it. I am speaking of a deeper, more comprehensive form of self-awareness and self-creation. It involves the very way you perceive yourself, the stories you tell about who you are and what is possible for you. For example, when you achieve a success, how do you interpret it? Do you see it as a fluke? Or do you recognize it as the natural expression of your innate abilities? When you face a challenge, do you see yourself as a victim of circumstance or as a creative force capable of finding solutions? These self-perceptions shape your reality. For the year 2025, I want you to consciously craft a concept of capability, of worthiness, of unlimited potential. See yourself as the person you aspire to be. Feel the reality of being that person. Live from that state of consciousness. If you desire financial abundance, see yourself as already wealthy. How would a wealthy person think? How would they approach decisions? Embody this in your consciousness. If you desire vibrant health, see yourself as the embodiment of vitality. How would such a person care for their body? How would they think about health and wellness? Let these thoughts inform your self-concept. Remember, this is not about denying your current reality. It's about choosing which aspect of reality you give your attention to. It's about focusing on the self you wish to be rather than the self you think you are based on past experiences. As you practice this new self-focus throughout 2025, you may find that your emotions begin to shift. You may feel more positive, more hopeful, more empowered. This emotional shift is crucial, for your emotions are the fuel that powers your manifestations. When you combine your new self-concept with positive emotions, you create a powerful vibration that attracts circumstances and experiences that match it. This is the law of attraction in action, but it goes beyond mere positive thinking. It is about aligning your entire being, your thoughts, your feelings, your very sense of self, with the reality you wish to create. Now, let us address another important aspect of this practice, persistence. Changing your focus, shifting your self-concept, is not a one-time event. It is an ongoing process, a new habit that you must cultivate throughout 2025. You must be vigilant. You must catch yourself when you slip into old patterns of thought and consciously choose to refocus on your desired self-concept. This persistence is crucial because your subconscious mind learns through repetition. The more consistently you focus on your desired self-concept, the more deeply it will be impressed upon your subconscious mind. And as these new patterns take root in your subconscious, they will begin to manifest in your outer world with increasing speed and ease. But what of those moments when doubt creeps in, when fear arises, when the old self-concept tries to reassert itself? These moments are inevitable, especially in the beginning of your practice. Do not be discouraged by them. Instead, see them as opportunities to strengthen your new self-concept. When doubt arises, do not fight it. Fighting against a thought only gives it more power. Instead, gently but firmly return to your new self-concept. Remind yourself that what you see around you is the past. Your new focus is creating your future. This brings us to another crucial aspect of this practice, the concept of living in the end. Living in the end means assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, of already being the person you aspire to be. It's not enough to think about your desired self-concept. You must live from it, feel it as a present reality. For example, instead of saying, I will be successful, say and feel, I am successful. Everything I touch prospers. Instead of saying, I will be healthy, say and feel, I am the embodiment of vibrant health and vitality. Speak and feel as if your desired self-concept is already realized, for in the realm of your imagination it is. This may feel strange at first, even false, but remember, you are not lying to yourself. You are choosing to focus on a different aspect of reality, the reality of your imagination, which is just as real, just as valid as the reality of your physical senses. As you practice living in the end, through your new self-concept, you may find that your actions naturally align with your new assumptions. You may find yourself making decisions, taking steps that move you closer to your desires. This alignment of inner state and outer action is powerful. It creates a momentum that propels you towards the realization of your goals. Now let us explore the role of gratitude in this process of self-focus. Gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion, it is a powerful creative force. When you feel grateful for your desired self-concept, as if it were already realized, you align yourself with the frequency of its fulfillment. Throughout 2025, make gratitude a central theme in your self-focus. Feel appreciation for the person you are becoming, for the opportunities that are unfolding, for the growth you are experiencing. Even if your current circumstances seem challenging, find aspects of your desired self to be grateful for. For gratitude, like your self-concept, shapes your perception and thus your reality. As you cultivate this attitude of gratitude in your self-focus, you may find that more things to be grateful for begin to appear in your life. This is not coincidence. It is the law of attraction at work. bringing you more of what you focus on and appreciate. Now let us address the importance of self-love in this practice of focusing on yourself. Many of us have a habit of harsh self-criticism, of focusing on our perceived flaws and shortcomings. For 2025, I challenge you to shift this focus. See yourself with the same love, the same compassion, the same unconditional acceptance that you would offer to someone you deeply care about. When you make a mistake, instead of berating yourself, focus on your capacity for growth and learning. Say to yourself, I am constantly evolving and improving. Every experience contributes to my growth. When you face a challenge, encourage yourself. Say, I have infinite resources within me. I am capable of overcoming any obstacle. This self-love is not selfishness. It is not ego. It is recognizing your own divine nature, your own inherent worthiness. And as you focus on yourself with love and respect, you will find that the world begins to reflect this back to you. For the world is yourself pushed out, and it can only give you what you give yourself in your own consciousness. As we continue our exploration of focusing on yourself in 2025, let us consider the power of your imagination. Your imagination is not a frivolous faculty for daydreaming. It is the very workshop in which you create your reality. When you imagine yourself as the person you wish to be, when you see yourself living the life you desire, you are experiencing that reality at the level of cause. Throughout 2025, I urge you to use your imagination deliberately and consistently. Set aside time each day to see yourself vividly as the person you aspire to be. Engage all your senses in this imaginative act. See yourself in detail, hear the congratulations and admiration of the others. Feel the emotions of success and fulfillment. Make this imagined reality so vivid, so real, that when you open your eyes, you carry with you the conviction of its truth. Remember, to your subconscious mind, there is no difference between a vividly imagined experience and a physical one. By repeatedly imagining your desired self-concept, you are impressing it upon your subconscious mind as a reality. And your subconscious mind, being the faithful servant it is, will work tirelessly to bring this imagined reality into physical manifestation. Now, let's address the role of action in this process, self-focus. Some people strikingly focusing on themselves means they can simply imagine their desired reality and then sit back and wait for it to magically appear. This is not the case. Action is crucial, but it must be inspired action that flows naturally from your new self-concept. As you focus on embodying your desired state of being, you will find yourself naturally inspired to take actions that align with this new self. These actions will not feel forced or stressful. They will feel natural, even inevitable. For example, if your desired self-concept is that of a successful entrepreneur, you may find yourself naturally drawn to networking events, inspired to learn new business skills, or motivated to refine your product or service. These actions flow from your new self-concept rather than from a place of lack or struggle. This is a crucial distinction. When you take action from a place of lack, trying to get what you desire, you are actually affirming the assumption of not having it. But when you take action from the assumption of already being your desired self, you open yourself to infinite possibilities for its expression and expansion. So in 2025, do not neglect action, but ensure that your actions are aligned with and flowing from your new self-concept. Let your inner state guide your outer actions rather than hoping your actions will create your desired state of being. As we near the end of our discussion, let us reflect on the profound implications of this practice of focusing on yourself. By consciously choosing your self-concept, by directing your focus inward rather than outward, you are not just changing your thoughts or behaviors, You are reshaping your entire reality. You are stepping into your power as a creative being, as the author of your own life story. Remember, the world you see around you is not separate from you. It is the outpicturing of your consciousness, of your self-concept and beliefs. By changing how you see yourself, by focusing on the self you wish to be, you change the very foundation of your reality. So for 2025, be vigilant. Be conscious. Choose your self-concept with care and intention. Focus on yourself with love, with encouragement, with faith in your own divine nature and limitless potential. See yourself as already being the person you aspire to be. And as you do this, watch. Watch how your perception begins to shift. Watch how opportunities begin to arise. Watch how your reality begins to reshape itself to match your new self-concept. For this is the law of your being. What you assume and feel to be true about yourself must be reflected in your outer world. But remember, this is not about forcing change through sheer will. It is about allowing change through alignment. Alignment of your thoughts, your feelings, your very sense of self with the reality you wish to create. It is about entering into the feeling of your wish fulfilled and allowing the universe to orchestrate the means of its realization. As you embark on this year of focusing on yourself, know that you are embarking on a journey of self-discovery and self-creation. You are stepping into your power as a conscious creator of reality. You are aligning yourself with the infinite creative power of the universe. And know this, 2025 is just the beginning. It is the seed from which a new way of being can grow. As you experience the power of focusing on yourself to shape your reality, you may find this practice naturally extending beyond the year. You may find it becoming a new way of life, a new way of relating to yourself and to the world around you. So go forth with this knowledge. Apply these principles in your daily life. Be aware of your self-concept, of where you place your focus, for it is shaping your reality in every moment. Choose it consciously, choose it wisely. See yourself with love, with faith, with the conviction that you are a divine being capable of creating any reality you can imagine.
And remember, persistence is key. The world you see around you is the result of habitual thoughts and self-concepts. As you persist in your new focus on yourself, as you consistently embody your desired state of being, your world must reshape itself to match this new inner reality.
You have within you the power to create the life you desire. You are limited only by your ability to imagine and to feel the reality of your desired self. Embrace this truth. Live from this understanding and watch as your world transforms around you, reflecting the newfound mastery of your creative consciousness. Thank you, and may your journey of self-focus in 2025 be filled with joy, wonder, and the thrill of manifesting your deepest desires. As we conclude, let us reflect on the transformative power of focusing on yourself. This practice is not about selfishness or isolation, but about recognizing that you are the center of your universe, the creator of your reality. By directing your attention inward, by consciously shaping your self-concept, you set in motion a chain of events that will reshape your entire world. Remember, every great change in the outer world begins with a change in your inner world. As you focus on embodying your desired state of being throughout 2025, you may face challenges and doubts. These are not obstacles, but opportunities to strengthen your new self-concept. Embrace them with the knowledge that each challenge overcome is a step closer to the full realization of your desired reality. In your journey of self-focus, be patient with yourself. Change does not always happen overnight. Just as a seed needs time to grow into a mighty tree, your new self-concept needs time to fully manifest in your outer world. Trust in the process, have faith in the law of your being, and know that As you persist in your new focus, your reality must conform to it. As you move through 2025, let every experience, every interaction, every moment be an opportunity to reinforce your new self-concept. See everything as a reflection of your inner state and use it to deepen your conviction in your desired reality. Remember, the outer world is not the cause of your experience, but the effect of your consciousness. In closing, I urge you to approach this practice of self-focus with joy and excitement. You are embarking on the greatest adventure possible, the journey of self-creation. Enjoy the process of becoming the person you aspire to be. Revel in the power of your imagination to shape your reality. Celebrate each manifestation, each synchronicity, as confirmation of your creative power. Go forth into 2025 with the knowledge that you are the author of your life story. Focus on writing a story of joy, of success, of fulfillment. For as you do, you not only transform your own life, but contribute to the elevation of all consciousness. Your self-realization is a gift to the world. May your focus in 2025 reveal to you the infinite potential that lies within you. And may you use this potential to create a life beyond your wildest dreams. Remember, the only limits that exist are those you accept in your own consciousness. So focus on transcending all limits, on embodying your highest self, and watch as your world transforms to reflect the magnificence of your true being. Imagine for a moment that you are standing at the threshold of a new life, a life so vibrant, so filled with purpose and joy that it seems almost unreal. Yet here you are, poised to step into this magnificent reality. This very moment, as you listen to these words, is the pivot point upon which your entire existence is about to turn. You may ask, how can this be? How can a simple video, a collection of words and images, herald such a profound transformation in my life? The answer, my dear listeners, lies not in the video itself, but in the power that resides within you, a power so vast, so limitless, that it can reshape the very fabric of your reality. Consider this: every great change, every monumental shift in the course of human history began with a single thought. A thought that took root in the fertile soil of imagination, nurtured by the unwavering belief of its thinker. This video, this message, is that seed of thought for you. It has found you at precisely the right moment, when you are ready to embrace the extraordinary potential that has always existed within you. Let us delve deeper into this concept. The world you see around you, the circumstances of your life, the very essence of your being, all of these are but reflections of your inner state. They are the manifestations of your deepest beliefs and assumptions about yourself in the world. And just as a mirror faithfully reflects whatever stands before it, your outer world reflects the state of your inner world. Now imagine for a moment that you could change that inner world, that you could, through the power of your imagination and the strength of your belief, reshape your inner landscape. What would happen then? Inevitably, inexorably, your outer world would begin to shift, to realign itself with this new inner reality. This, my friends, is the great secret that has been hidden in plain sight throughout the ages. The sages and mystics of every culture have spoken of it, often in veiled terms. But today, we shall speak plainly, for the time for obscurity has passed. You are creators, each and every one of you. Creators not just of art or music or literature, but of your very lives, of the world you inhabit. But how, you may ask, can we harness this creative power? How can we shape our inner world with such precision and potency that our outer world has no choice but to conform? The answer lies in a practice so simple, yet so profound, that its true power is often overlooked. Imagination, my dear listeners, is the workshop in which you forge your future. It is the canvas upon which you paint the masterpiece of your life. When you close your eyes and vividly imagine a scene, feeling it to be real, experiencing it with all your senses, you are not merely daydreaming. You are engaging in the most powerful creative act possible. For in that moment of imagining, you are stepping into a state of being. You are, in essence, becoming the person who has already achieved, already experienced, already become what you desire. And here's the crux of the matter. The outer world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match this new state of being. Think of it this way. If you were to wake up tomorrow morning as a person of great wealth, how would you feel? How would you carry yourself? What thoughts would occupy your mind? Now, can you see that by assuming that state, by living from that place of abundance and security, you are setting in motion the very forces that will bring that reality into your physical experience? This is not mere positive thinking or wishful daydreaming. This is a fundamental law of consciousness, as real and immutable as the law of gravity. Just as an apple must fall when released from your hand, so must your outer world conform to your inner state of being. But let us be clear, this power comes with great responsibility. For if you can create the life of your dreams through the power of your imagination, then you must also acknowledge that the life you currently lead is of your own making. Every circumstance, every relationship, every success or failure is a reflection of your past assumptions and beliefs. This realization can be sobering, even frightening. But it is also incredibly liberating. For if you have created your current reality, then you have the power to create a new one. The past does not determine your future, your imagination does. Now, some of you may be thinking, but I tried positive thinking before. I visualized and affirmed, and nothing changed. To you, I say this, the power lies not in the technique, but in the feeling. It is not enough to merely picture what you want. You must feel it to be real here and now. You must live from the state of its fulfillment. Imagine a man who desires financial abundance. He may visualize himself with great wealth. But if he continues to feel poor, to live in a state of lack and limitation, his outer world will continue to reflect that inner poverty. But if he can assume the feeling of wealth, if he can live from that state of abundance, not in some imagined future, but right here and now, then the outer world must by law begin to reflect that inner richness. This is the art of living from the end. It is the practice of experiencing your desire as an accomplished fact, of making your future dream your present fact. When you master this art, you hold in your hands the key to unlocking every door, to achieving every goal, to becoming every version of yourself you ever dreamed of being. But let us not mistake this for some sort of magical thinking. The outer world does not change overnight. The seed planted in the soil does not become a mighty oak in a day. There is a season for all things, a natural gestation period for every desire. Your task is not to make things happen, but to maintain that inner state of fulfillment, to nurture that seed with your unwavering belief and your consistent assumption of its reality. The how and of its manifestation are not your concern. Your only responsibility is to lift your end to be in imagination what you wish to be in reality. Now, some of you may be wondering about the role of action in all of this. After all, surely we cannot simply sit back and wait for our desires to manifest. You are right to ask this question, for action does indeed play a crucial role. But it is not the frantic, desperate action of someone trying to make things happen. Rather, it is the inspired action that naturally flows from your new state of being. When you truly live from the state of your fulfilled desire, you will find yourself naturally drawn to take actions that align with that state. Opportunities will present themselves. ideas will come to you, and you will act upon them not out of a sense of lack or need, but from a place of calm assurance and inner knowing. This is the difference between creating and making. When you try to make things happen, you are operating from a place of absence, of not having. But when you create from the state of already being or having, your actions are imbued with a different energy altogether. They become effortless, joyful expressions of your inner state, rather than strained attempts to change your outer world. Let us take a moment to truly absorb the magnitude of what we are discussing here. We are talking about nothing less than your ability to completely reshape your life, to step into a new reality of your own choosing. This video has found you at this precise moment because you are ready for this transformation. The very fact that you are hearing these words is proof that you have called this knowledge into your life. But knowledge alone is not enough. It must be applied, must be lived to have any real power. So I challenge you right here and now to choose a desire, something you wish to be, do, or have. Close your eyes for a moment and step into the feeling of that desire fulfilled. Experience it with all your senses. Feel the emotions you would feel if it were already your reality. Now open your eyes. The world around you may look the same, but I assure you it is not. For in that moment of imaginative power, you have set in motion forces beyond your current comprehension. You have planted a seed in the fertile soil of infinite possibility, and that seed must grow. Your task now is to water that seed with your continued assumption of its reality. When doubts arise, and they will, gently return to that feeling of your desire fulfilled. When the outer world seems to contradict your inner knowing, stand firm in your conviction. For the outer is but a shadow, a reflection of past beliefs. Your new assumption, held with unwavering faith, will inevitably reshape that outer world. Remember, the universe is plastic to your deepest, most consistently held beliefs. It has no choice but to mold itself to your inner convictions. This is not something you need to force or struggle with. It is the natural, effortless operation of universal law. As you begin to live from this new understanding, you will notice changes in your life. They may be subtle at first, a shift in your mood, a new spring in your step, a sense of quiet confidence that wasn't there before. Embrace these changes, for they are the first fruits of your new way of being. Gradually, you will see larger shifts. Circumstances will align in ways you couldn't have planned. People will enter your life who resonate with your new frequency. Opportunities will present themselves that perfectly match your deepest desires. And through it all, you will know with unshakable certainty that you are the creator of it all. This, my dear friends, is the true meaning of living a life of power and purpose. It is not about controlling the outer world or bending others to your will. It is about mastering your inner world, about becoming so aligned with your deepest desires that the outer world naturally conforms to your inner vision. As we continue on this journey of exploration and revelation, I want you to understand that what we are discussing here is not some new age fantasy or feel-good philosophy. This is the very mechanism by which reality operates. It is the underlying principle that governs the unfolding of all existence. Think for a moment about the world around you. Every man-made object you see, the buildings, the vehicles, the devices in your hands, began as a thought, an imaginal act. Someone somewhere held in their mind a vision of these things before they came into physical being. Your ability to create is no different. The only distinction is in the medium. Instead of steel and concrete, you are molding the very substance of reality itself. Now, I can sense that some of you may be feeling overwhelmed by the magnitude of this power. You may be thinking, if I am responsible for creating my reality, then why have I created circumstances I don't desire? This is a natural and important question to ask. The answer lies in understanding the nature of your subconscious mind. Your subconscious does not distinguish between what you want and what you don't want. It simply accepts as true whatever you consistently impress upon it. whether through your habitual thoughts, your emotional states, or your deeply held beliefs. Many of us have spent years, even decades, impressing upon our subconscious minds limitations, fears, and doubts. Is it any wonder, then, that our lives reflect these impressions? But here's the liberating truth. Just as you have impressed these limiting beliefs upon your subconscious, you can impress new, empowering beliefs. You can overwrite the old programming with a new vision of yourself and your life. This is the very essence of the transformation we are discussing. The technique is simple, but its consistent application requires dedication and persistence. Each night as you drift off to sleep, enter into a state akin to sleep but still conscious. In this drowsy, receptive state, imagine a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. Make it as vivid and as real as you possibly can. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the sense of accomplishment that would accompany the realization of your dream. As you fall asleep in this state, you are impressing this new reality upon your subconscious mind. You are planting the seed of your new life in the fertile soil of infinite possibility. Do this night after night, and you will begin to see changes in your outer world. Your subconscious mind, operating below the level of your conscious awareness, will begin to reshape your reality to match this new impression. But remember, this is not a one-time event. Just as you wouldn't plant a seed and then dig it up every day to check its progress, you must have faith in the unseen processes that are at work. Your only task is to persist in the assumption of the wish fulfilled, to live each day from the state of already being what you desire to be. Now let's address another question that may be arising in your minds. What about other people? Don't they have their own free will? How can my imagination influence them? This is a profound question, and it strikes at the heart of our understanding of reality. The truth is, what you perceive as other people are in your world playing the parts that you have assigned to them. This doesn't mean they don't have free will in their own realities, but in your experience they will conform to your assumptions about them. If you consistently assume that people are kind and helpful, you will find your world filled with kind and helpful people. If you assume the opposite, that is what you will experience. This understanding places a great responsibility on your shoulders. For if everyone in your world is playing a part based on your assumptions, then it is up to you to cast them in the roles you wish them to play. See the best in others, assume the best of them, and they will rise to meet your expectations. But what of global events, you may ask? How can my imagination influence the larger world? Again, we must return to the fundamental truth. Your experience of the world is a reflection of your inner state. As you change your inner world, your perception and experience of the outer world will change. This doesn't mean you should ignore the challenges facing our world, but it does mean that the most powerful way to create positive change is to embody that change within yourself. Be the peace you wish to see in the world. Live from a state of abundance, and you will see abundance reflected back to you. As more and more individuals awaken to this truth and begin living from empowered states of being, we will see a collective shift in our shared reality. Now, I want to address something that many of you may be feeling at this point. You may be excited by these ideas, inspired by the possibilities they present, but you may also be feeling a sense of doubt. Can it really be this simple? You may be asking. If this is true, why isn't everyone doing it? The answer, my friends, is that while the principle is indeed simple, its application requires a fundamental shift in how we perceive ourselves and the world around us. It requires us to let go of many deeply ingrained beliefs and habits of thought. It asks us to take complete responsibility for our lives, to step into our power as creators. This can be a daunting prospect. Many people, when confronted with this truth, shrink back from it. They find comfort in the familiar, even if the familiar is not what they truly desire. But you, my dear listeners, are different. The very fact that this video has found you, that you are hearing these words, is proof that you are ready for this transformation. You are ready to step into your power as a conscious creator. You are ready to take control of your inner world, and by doing so, reshape your outer reality. This is why your life is about to change. This is why you find yourself at this pivotal moment, poised on the brink of a new way of being. But let me be clear, this is not about gaining power over others or manipulating the world to serve your ego. This is about aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe, about becoming a channel through which the infinite expresses itself. It's about living a life of purpose, of joy, of fulfillment, not just for yourself, but as an inspiration and a blessing to all those around you. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a challenge. For the next 30 days, commit yourself fully to this practice. Choose one desire, one change you wish to see in your life. Each night as you fall asleep, imagine it as vividly as you can. Feel it as real. Leave each day from the state of its fulfillment. Do this consistently, persistently, and with unwavering faith. Don't worry about the how or the when. Your only task is to live from the end, to be in imagination what you wish to be in reality. The universe will take care of the rest. At the end of those 30 days, reflect on your experience. Notice the changes, both subtle and profound, that have occurred in your life. Pay attention to the shifts in your perception, in your emotional state, in the way you interact with the world around you. This, my friends, is just the beginning. As you master this practice, as you become more and more aligned with your true creative power, you will find yourself capable of transforming not just your individual circumstances, but of contributing to the transformation of our collective reality. Remember, the world is waiting for you to awaken to your true power. It is longing for you to step into the fullness of who you truly are. For as you liberate yourself, as you begin to live from a place of joy, abundance, and love, you liberate those around you. You become a living example of what is possible, a beacon of hope and inspiration in a world that so desperately needs it. So go forth, my dear friends, with this newfound knowledge. Let it sink deep into your being. Let it inform every thought, every action, every moment of your day. Know that as you do so, you are setting in motion forces that will reshape your entire existence. Your life is about to change, not because of external circumstances, but because you are awakening to the immense power that has always resided within you. This video, these words have found you at precisely the right moment when you are ready to embrace this truth and step into your role as the conscious creator of your reality. As you move forward from this moment, carry with you the understanding that your imagination is the most powerful tool you possess. Use it wisely, use it consistently, and use it with love. Remember that what you imagine and feel to be real must, by universal law, become your reality. This is not wishful thinking, but the very mechanism by which all of creation operates. In the coming days and weeks, you will begin to notice changes in your life. They may be subtle at first, a shift in your mood, a new opportunity presenting itself, a fortuitous encounter. Embrace these changes, for they are the first fruits of your new way of being. They are confirmation that you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. But do not stop there. As you see these initial changes manifesting in your life, let them fuel your faith and strengthen your resolve. Continue to live from the state of your wish fulfilled, even when the outer world seems to contradict it. For remember, the outer is but a shadow of your past beliefs. Your new assumptions, held with unwavering faith, will inevitably reshape that outer world. Finally, my dear friends, Know that this journey you are embarking upon is not just for your own benefit. As you transform your own life, you become a beacon of hope and inspiration for others. You demonstrate what is possible when one awakens to their true nature as a creative force in the universe. And in doing so, you contribute to the elevation of all humanity. So go forth with courage, with faith, and with the unshakable knowledge that the life of your dreams is not just possible, it is inevitable. For you are the operant power, the author of your destiny, the creator of your reality. Your life is about to change because you have chosen to change it. Embrace this power and watch in awe as the world transforms before your eyes. You may wonder, is such a feat possible? I assure you, not only is it possible, but it is your birthright. For you see, the power to manifest your desires has always resided within you. It is not something to be acquired, but rather something to be remembered and awakened. Let us begin by understanding the fundamental principle upon which this science rests. Your world, your reality, is nothing more than an outward projection of your inner state of consciousness. Every circumstance, every person, every event in your life is a reflection of your beliefs, assumptions, and mental attitudes. This is the first and most crucial realization on your path to mastery. Imagine, if you will, that your mind is a garden. Your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions are the seeds you plant in this garden. The life you're experiencing right now is the harvest of those seeds. If you're dissatisfied with your current harvest, the solution is not to wrestle with the fruit, but to change the seed. This is where many seekers falter. They attempt to change their world by manipulating external circumstances, unaware that the outer world is but a shadow of their inner world. They chase after effects, ignorant of the cause that lies within their own consciousness. But you, my dear friends, are here today to transcend this limited understanding. You are here to become conscious creators, masters of your reality. And the key to this mastery lies in one simple yet profound practice, the art of assumption. To assume means to think from the end. It means to inhabit the state of your wish fulfilled, not as a future possibility, but as a present fact. This is the secret that has been hidden in plain sight throughout the ages. It is the pearl of great price, the philosopher's stone that transmutes the lead of current circumstances into the gold of desired realities. Now, you might ask, how do I assume? How do I think from the end? The answer lies in your God-given gift of imagination. Your imagination is the very workshop wherein you can construct the inner conversations and mental scenes that persisted in will harden into fact. Let me illustrate this with a simple exercise. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself in a scene that would imply the fulfillment of your desire. If your desire is for financial abundance, see yourself looking at a bank statement with a balance that thrills you. Feel the emotions that would accompany such a sight. Hear the words you would speak, the conversations you would have if this were your reality right now. This, my friends, is the art of assumption in action. You are thinking from the end, embodying the state of your wish fulfilled. And here's the miraculous truth. To the extent that you can make this imaginal act feel natural and real to you, to that extent will it objectify itself in your outer world. But remember, this is not mere daydreaming or wishful thinking. This is a deliberate, conscious direction of your imagination. It is an act of faith, for faith is nothing more than loyalty to your unseen assumption. And it is through faith that the invisible becomes visible, that the imaginable becomes actual. Now you might wonder, why 48 hours? Can I truly master this science in such a short time? The answer lies in the nature of consciousness itself. You see, consciousness is the only reality. All things exist within it. And it takes no time for consciousness to assume a new state. The moment you successfully embody a new state in your imagination, the seed is planted. The 48 hours we speak of is not for the planting, but for the cultivation of that seed. In these 48 hours, you will learn to persist in your new assumption, regardless of the evidence of your senses. For the outer world, bound as it is by the law of time and space, may take a while to reflect your inner change. But make no mistake, once the seed is planted and nurtured, its manifestation is inevitable. This brings us to another crucial aspect of our science, the law of reversibility. Just as heat produces motion, motion can produce heat. Similarly, while feeling creates circumstance, circumstance can create feeling. This is why it's vital to guard your mental diet, to be selective about the thoughts and assumptions you entertain. In these 48 hours, you will learn to become aware of your mental conversations, those incessant inner dialogues that shape your world. You will learn to consciously choose thoughts and inner conversations that align with your desired state. For it is these mental conversations persisted in that will reshape your world. Let me share with you a powerful technique to aid you in this practice. I call it revision. At the end of each day, before you sleep, review the events of your day. But here's the key: revise any event that was not to your liking. See it unfold in your imagination exactly as you would have wished it to be. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the fulfillment of experiencing it in this revised manner. This practice serves two purposes. First, it trains your mind to focus on the desired state rather than the current reality. Second, it demonstrates your power as a conscious creator. For in the world of imagination, there is no limitation. You can revise any event, any circumstance exactly as you desire it to be. As you engage in this practice over the next 48 hours, you will begin to feel a shift in your consciousness. You will start to experience what I call the naturalness of your desired state. This is a crucial milestone on your journey to mastery. For when your desired state feels more natural to you than your current reality, its manifestation is at hand. Now let us delve deeper into the nature of consciousness and its relation to the world of manifestation. Consciousness, my dear friends, is not confined to the boundaries of your physical form. It is infinite, eternal, and all-encompassing. Your individual consciousness is but a focal point of this universal consciousness, much like a wave is a focal point of the vast ocean. Understanding this truth is crucial to mastering the science of manifestation. For it means that all things, all possibilities, all potential realities already exist within your consciousness. You are not creating something new when you manifest your desires. Rather, you are selecting and embodying a state that already exists within the infinite sea of consciousness. This understanding liberates you from the limitations of time and space. It frees you from the belief that your desires are out there somewhere, waiting to be attained. Instead, you realize that they are already within you, waiting to be assumed and expressed. In these 48 hours, you will learn to navigate this infinite sea of consciousness with precision and purpose. You will discover that shifting from one state to another is as simple and natural as moving from one room to another in your home. All it requires is your decision and your assumption. But here, my friends, we must address a common pitfall on the path to mastery. Many seekers, upon learning of their creative power, fall into the trap of trying to manipulate specific events or people. They attempt to use their imagination to control the how of their manifestation. This is a mistake, and it often leads to frustration and disappointment. Remember, the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. When you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, where you embody the consciousness of already being, doing or having what you desire, the outer world must rearrange itself to match this new state. But the manner in which it does so is not your concern. Your role is to assume the state of the wish fulfilled and to persist in that assumption. The means and methods by which your desire will manifest are the domain of that infinite intelligence that orchestrates the universe. Trust in this intelligence. Have faith that once you have planted the seed in consciousness, it will grow and bear fruit in its own perfect way and time. This brings us to another crucial aspect of our science: detachment. Detachment does not mean indifference. Rather, it means to be so confident in the reality of your assumption that you can relax and allow it to unfold naturally. It means to live from the state of your wish fulfilled without anxiety or desperation about its manifestation in the outer world. In these 48 hours, you will cultivate this art of detachment. You will learn to rest in the assurance that what you have assumed in consciousness must objectify itself in your world. This assurance, this knowing, is the mark of a true master of manifestation. Now let us turn our attention to a powerful tool in our manifestation toolkit, the use of affirmations. Affirmations, when used correctly, can be a potent means of reshaping your subconscious beliefs and assumptions. However, the key lies in understanding the true nature of effective affirmations. An affirmation is not merely a positive statement repeated mechanically. It is a statement of truths spoken from the state of your wish fulfilled. When you affirm, you are not trying to convince yourself of something. Rather, you are declaring a truth that you have already accepted in consciousness. For example, if your desire is for financial abundance, a powerful affirmation might be, "I am so grateful now that I am financially free." As you speak these words, feel the relief, the joy, the sense of security that would accompany this state. See yourself living this truth. Hear the inner conversations you would have if this were your reality right now. In these 48 hours, you will learn to craft and use affirmations that resonate with your desired state. You will discover how to infuse these affirmations with feeling and conviction, transforming them from mere words into powerful seeds of manifestation. But remember, the power of your affirmations lies not in the words themselves, but in the state of consciousness from which they are spoken. This is why feeling is the secret. The feeling of the wish fulfilled, embodied and expressed through your affirmations, is the catalyst that brings your desires into manifestation. As we progress deeper into our 48-hour mastery journey, let us explore the concept of living in the end. This phrase, living in the end, encapsulates the essence of our science of manifestation. It means to live, think, and act from the consciousness of already being the person you desire to be, of already having what you wish to have. Living in the end is not about pretending or play acting. It is about fully embodying the state of your wish fulfilled in your imagination to the point where it feels more real and more natural to you than your current circumstances. This is the state from which miracles spring forth, where the seeming impossible becomes possible. In these 48 hours, you will practice living in the end with unwavering focus and devotion. You will learn to maintain this state regardless of the evidence of your senses. For remember, your senses only show you the effects of past thoughts and assumptions. They cannot show you the new cause you are setting in motion through a present assumption. This practice of living in the end will require vigilance and persistence. You must guard your thoughts, your inner conversations, and your mental diet with the same care and attention that you would give to any valuable possession. For indeed, your state of consciousness is your most valuable possession, the very substance from which your world is shaped. As you persist in living from the end, you may encounter what seems like opposition or contradiction in your outer world. This is perfectly natural and to be expected. The outer world, bound as it is by time and space, may take a while to fully reflect your new inner state. But do not be discouraged by this seeming lag. Instead, see it as an opportunity to strengthen your faith, to deepen your conviction in the reality of your assumption. Remember, the outer world is nothing more than a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. As you maintain your new state of consciousness, this shadow must, by immutable law, reshape itself to match the new inner reality. Your task is not to wrestle with the shadow, but to be steadfast in your new assumption. Now let us delve into a powerful technique that will aid you in maintaining your desired state. The use of inner conversations. Your inner conversations are the dialogues you have with yourself and with others in your imagination. These conversations are incredibly potent, for they are direct communications with your subconscious mind. In these 48 hours, you will learn to consciously craft and engage in inner conversations that align with your desired state. If your desire is for a loving relationship, for example, you might imagine hearing a close friend congratulate you on your wonderful partnership. Feel the joy and gratitude as you respond, confirming the reality of this loving relationship in your life. These inner conversations, when imbued with feeling and repeated with consistency, become a powerful force in reshaping your subconscious beliefs and assumptions. And as your subconscious beliefs change, your outer world must change to match them. But remember, the key to effective inner conversations lies in their naturalness. They should not feel forced or artificial. Instead, they should flow as easily and naturally as any actual conversation you might have. This naturalness is a sign that your new assumption is taking root in your subconscious mind. As we approach the midpoint of our 48-hour journey to mastery, let us address a question that often arises: what about action? Do I simply imagine and affirm, or must I also act in the physical world? This is a crucial point, and one that is often misunderstood. Action, my dear friends, is indeed a vital part of the manifestation process, but it is not action as the world commonly understands it. It is not about forcing or struggling or manipulating external circumstances. Rather, it is about inspired action, action that flows naturally from your new state of consciousness. When you successfully assume the state of your wish fulfilled, when you truly live in the end, you will find yourself naturally inspired to take actions that align with this new state. These actions will not feel like effort or struggle. Instead, they will feel natural, even inevitable, as if you are simply playing the part that has been assigned to you. In these 48 hours, you will learn to recognize and follow these inspired actions. You will discover that as you live from the state of your wish fulfilled, opportunities and circumstances will present themselves that perfectly align with your desire. Your role is simply to step into these opportunities, to play your part in the unfolding drama of your manifestation. This is the true meaning of the biblical injunction to stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. It does not mean to be passive or inactive. Rather, it means to be still in your assumption, to be unwavering in your faith, and from this state of stillness to watch as the path to your desire naturally unfolds before you. Now let us turn our attention to a powerful tool that will accelerate your mastery of this science, the practice of acting as if. This technique is a natural extension of living in the end, that it brings your assumption into your physical world in a tangible way. To act as if means to behave in your outer world as you would if your desire were already a reality. If your desire is for a successful career, for example, you would carry yourself with the confidence and poise of a successful person. You would make decisions and interact with others from the mindset of someone who has already achieved the success you desire. In these 48 hours, you will practice acting as if with dedication and consistency. You will discover that as you align your outer behavior with your inner assumption, you create a powerful resonance that accelerates the manifestation of your desire. But remember, acting as is not about pretending or deceiving others. It is about aligning your outer expression with your inner truth, the truth you have accepted in consciousness. It is about bringing your entire being, your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions into harmony with the state of your wish fulfilled. As we delve deeper into our exploration of the science of manifestation, let us address a concept that is often misunderstood, the role of desire itself. Many spiritual teachings advise against desire, seeing it as a source of suffering or attachment. But in our science, desire plays a crucial and positive role. Desire, my dear friends, is the voice of God within you. It is the creative impulse of the universe seeking expression through you. Your desires are not random or meaningless. They are calls from your higher self, invitations to grow, to expand, to more fully express your divine nature. In these 48 hours, you will learn to honor your desires, to see them as sacred messages from your deeper self. You will discover that as you align with your true desires, as you assume the state of their fulfillment, you are not being selfish or materialistic. Rather, you are fulfilling your divine purpose, expressing more of your true nature, and in doing so, enriching the world around you. But here, we must make an important distinction. There is a difference between pure desire and neediness or desperation. Pure desire comes from a place of fullness, of knowing that you are already complete and whole. Neediness, on the other hand, comes from a place of lack, of feeling incomplete without the object of your desire. In our science of manifestation, we work with pure desire. We assume the state of our wish fulfilled not because we need it to be happy or complete, but because it is a natural expression of who we truly are. This distinction is crucial, for manifestation born of neediness often brings with it new problems and dissatisfactions, while manifestation born of pure desire brings genuine fulfillment and joy. As we enter the final stretch of our 48-hour journey to mastery, let us explore a concept that ties together everything we have discussed, the law of assumption. This law states that whatever you assume to be true, whatever state you occupy in consciousness, must express itself in your outer world. The law of assumption is not something external to you. It is not a force that you must appease or manipulate. Rather, it is the very nature of consciousness itself. It is the mechanism by which the formless realm of pure potential takes on form and expression in the physical world. In these final hours of our journey, you will deepen your understanding and application of this law. You will discover that every moment of your life, you are making assumptions. These assumptions, whether conscious or unconscious, are shaping your reality. By becoming aware of your assumptions and consciously choosing those that align with your desires, you become a deliberate creator of your life experience. As we approach the culmination of our 48-hour mastery, I want to emphasize a crucial point: persistence. The power of your assumption lies not in making it once, but in maintaining it consistently. There may be times when your outer world seems to contradict your inner assumption. In these moments, your persistence is key. Hold fast to your assumption, knowing that the outer world must eventually conform to your inner state. Remember, my dear friends, that you are not alone in this journey. You are supported by the very fabric of the universe, by the infinite intelligence that pervades all things. As you master this science of manifestation, you align yourself more fully with this intelligence. You become a conscious co-creator with the divine, expressing more of your true nature and potential. In closing, I want to remind you that what we have explored in these 48 hours is not mere theory or philosophy. It is a practical science, a method that has been proven time and again by those who have applied it with understanding and persistence. You now hold in your hands the key to shaping your reality, to manifesting your deepest desires and highest aspirations. Go forth now and apply what you have learned. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled. Persist in your assumptions. Act from the consciousness of already being the person you desire to be. And watch in awe as your world transforms to match your inner state. For you are the operant power, the conscious creator of your life experience. In realizing this truth and living from it, you step into your true power and fulfill your highest destiny. Imagine, if you will, that the universe is not some distant impersonal force, but rather an intimate part of your very being. It is the canvas upon which you paint the masterpiece of your life, responding to every brushstroke of your imagination. To learn how to talk to the universe is to master the art of creation itself. Let us begin by understanding that your thoughts, your feelings, and your deepest beliefs are the language through which you converse with this infinite intelligence. Every moment of your day, whether you are conscious of it or not, you are engaged in a continuous dialogue with the universe. The question is, are you speaking the language of lack and limitation? Or are you articulating a symphony of abundance and possibility? The universe, in its infinite wisdom, does not judge your desires. It does not deem one wish more worthy than another. It simply responds to the vibration of your being, to the unwavering certainty of your imagination. When you learn to align your inner conversations with the outcomes you desire, you tap into a power that can reshape the very fabric of your reality. Consider for a moment the times when you have wanted something deeply. Perhaps it was a new job, a loving relationship, or a sense of inner peace. Did you approach these desires with a sense of lack, constantly affirming to yourself and the universe that you did not have them? Or did you embrace the feeling of already possessing that which you sought? This, my friends, is the crux of effective communication with the universe. It is not enough to merely wish for something. You must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You must live from the end, experiencing in your imagination the joy, the satisfaction, and the gratitude of already having received your desire. Let me share with you a fundamental truth that has the power to transform your life. The universe knows no distinction between what you vividly imagine and what you consider to be reality. Your imagination is the very workshop wherein you forge the instruments of your future experiences. When you imagine with feeling, with conviction, you are literally shaping the course of events to come. But how, you may ask, does one begin this practice of imagination? How does one learn to speak so convincingly to the universe? The answer lies in the art of revision and in the cultivation of a disciplined imagination. Revision is the process by which you rewrite the script of your past and present experiences. If you have encountered a situation that was less than desirable, do not let it calcify into a fixed point in your personal history. Instead, reimagine it. See it play out in your mind's eye exactly as you would have wished it to be. Feel the emotions associated with this new version of events. Let every fiber of your being resonate with the joy and satisfaction of this revised experience. By engaging in this practice, you are not merely indulging in wishful thinking. You are actively recalibrating your relationship with the universe. You are demonstrating your power as a conscious creator, showing the universe that you are no longer willing to be a passive recipient of circumstances, but rather an active participant in the shaping of your reality. As you become more adept at revision, you will find that your natural state becomes one of positive expectation. You will approach each day with the certainty that wonderful things are unfolding for you. Shift in consciousness is profound, for it alters the very frequency at which you vibrate, attracting experiences that resonate with your new state of being. Now let us delve deeper into the practice of disciplined imagination. Your imagination is not merely a playground for idle fantasies. It It is the most powerful creative force at your disposal. When you learn to direct your imagination with purpose and precision, you are literally programming the universe to respond in kind. Begin by setting aside time each day for focused imaginal work. Find a quiet space where you can relax and allow your mind to become receptive. Close your eyes and begin to construct in your mind's eye a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. Make it as vivid and as detailed as possible. Engage all your senses. If you desire a new home, feel the texture of the doorknob as you enter. Smell the fresh scent of your favorite flowers arranged in the entryway. Hear the sound of laughter echoing through spacious rooms. As you construct this scene, allow yourself to become fully absorbed in it. Do not merely observe it as a spectator, but step into it as an active participant. Feel the emotions that would naturally accompany the realization of your desire. Let joy, gratitude, and a deep sense of fulfillment wash over you. This imaginal act is not a mere rehearsal for some future event. It is in the deepest sense the event itself. For in the realm of imagination, where all possibilities exist simultaneously, you have already received that which you desire. Your task now is to remain faithful to this imaginal act, to return to it night after night, impressing it ever more deeply upon your subconscious mind. As you persist in this practice, you will begin to notice subtle shifts in your outer world. Circumstances will begin to rearrange themselves, almost magically, to bring about the conditions necessary for the realization of your imagined state. People, events, and opportunities will appear in your life as if summoned by an unseen hand. This is the universe responding to your inner conversation, to the unwavering certainty of your imagined reality. But remember, my dear friends, that this practice requires patience and persistence. The seed of your desire, once planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, must be given time to germinate and grow. Do not dig it up every day to see if it has sprouted. Trust in the unseen forces that are working on your behalf. Your role is to maintain an unwavering faith in the reality of your imagined state. This faith is not a blind hope that something might happen in some distant future. It is a deep knowing, a profound certainty that on a level beyond physical sight, your desire is already fulfilled. As you cultivate this faith, you will find that your entire perception of the world begins to shift. You will start to see evidence of your desire manifesting everywhere you look. This is not mere coincidence. It is the natural result of your aligned inner conversation with the universe. Let us now explore another powerful aspect of communicating with the universe, the use of affirmative prayer. Unlike traditional forms of prayer, which often come from a place of lack or supplication, affirmative prayer is a declaration of that which is already true in the realm of imagination. When you engage in affirmative prayer, you are not asking the universe for something you do not have. Instead, you are acknowledging and giving thanks for that which is already yours in the invisible realm of potential. This form of prayer aligns you with the creative power of the universe, allowing you to speak your desires into existence with authority and conviction. Begin your affirmative prayers with phrases such as, "I am so happy and grateful now that," or "Isn't it wonderful that?" Follow these openings with statements that describe your desire as if it were already a present fact. Feel the emotion of gratitude wash over you as you articulate these statements. Let every word resonate with the certainty of your imagined reality. As you make this practice a regular part of your day, you will find that your entire being begins to vibrate at the frequency of your desires. You become a living, breathing affirmation of the life you wish to create. The universe, ever responsive to the signals you emit, will begin to mirror back to you the reality you have so clearly defined in your imagination. But let us not forget, my friends, that effective communication with the universe is not a one-way street. It is not merely about broadcasting your desires into the void. It is also about developing the ability to listen, to attune yourself to the subtle guidance that is always available to you. This guidance often comes in the form of intuition, those quiet hunches and inner promptings that seem to arise from nowhere. As you cultivate your relationship with the universe, you will find that these intuitive flashes become more frequent and more pronounced. They are the universe's way of directing you toward the path of least resistance to the manifestation of your desires. Learn to trust these intuitive nudges. Act on them, even when they seem to defy conventional logic. For in following your intuition, you are aligning yourself with the infinite intelligence of the universe, which sees the bigger picture and knows the shortest route to the fulfillment of your desires. As you become more adept at listening to this inner guidance, you will find that your life begins to flow with an effortless grace. Doors will open where before there were walls. Synchronicities will abound, as if the entire universe is conspiring to bring you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. Now let us address a crucial aspect of communicating with the universe that is often overlooked, the importance of detachment. This may seem paradoxical at first. How can you be detached from something you desire so deeply? The key lies in understanding that detachment does not mean indifference. It means releasing your grip on the how and when of your manifestation. When you cling too tightly to a specific outcome or timeline, you create resistance. You send a message to the universe that you do not trust its infinite wisdom to bring about your desire in the best possible way. This resistance can actually slow down or even prevent the manifestation of your desires. Instead, cultivate an attitude of relaxed expectancy. Know with absolute certainty that your desire is fulfilled in the invisible realm, and trust that it will materialize in the physical world in divine timing. This state of relaxed expectancy allows the universe to work on your behalf, orchestrating events and circumstances in ways that your limited human perspective could never conceive. Remember, the universe has access to infinite possibilities. By remaining open and detached, you allow it to bring about your desire in ways that may far exceed your original vision. You may find that what manifests is even better than what you had initially imagined. As you practice this art of detached manifestation, you will discover a profound sense of peace and trust in the unfolding of your life. You will no longer feel the need to control every aspect of your experience. Instead, you will move through life with a sense of excited anticipation, knowing that wonderful things are constantly unfolding for you. Let us now delve into another powerful technique for communicating with the universe, the use of symbolic representation. The subconscious mind, which is your direct link to the creative power of the universe, thinks in symbols and images. By consciously choosing and working with symbols that represent your desires, you can bypass the critical faculty of your conscious mind and impress your intentions more deeply upon the subconscious. Choose a symbol that for you represents the fulfillment of your desire. It could be an object, a color, a number, or even a simple geometric shape. Infuse this symbol with meaning through your focused attention and emotion. See it in your mind's eye, associated with the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and carry it with you throughout your day. You might wear jewelry that incorporates your chosen symbol or place representations of it around your living space. Each time you encounter this symbol, let it serve a reminder of your end commitment to your desire. Feel once again the emotion of having already received that which you seek. This practice creates a powerful feedback loop between your conscious intentions and your subconscious mind. Over time, the mere sight of your chosen symbol will automatically evoke the feeling of your wish fulfilled, reinforcing your communication with the universe and accelerating the manifestation process. Now, my dear friends, let us address a question that often arises when one begins to seriously engage with the practice of conscious creation. What about the desires and free will of others? How can we communicate our desires to the universe without infringing upon the autonomy of those around us? The answer lies in understanding the true nature of creation. When you imagine a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire, you are not manipulating others or bending them to your will. You are simply aligning yourself with a version of reality in which your desire is fulfilled. The universe, in its infinite wisdom and creativity, will bring about the circumstances necessary for the realization of your imagined state in a way that honors the free will of all involved. Your task is not to dictate the specific actions of others, but to hold steadfast to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Trust that the universe will orchestrate events in a way that serves the highest good of all concerned. This approach allows for the manifestation of your desires while maintaining respect for the divine spark within every individual. As you deepen your practice of communicating with the universe, you may find that your desires themselves begin to shift and evolve. This is a natural and beautiful part of the process. As you align more closely with your true self and the infinite potential within you, you may discover that what you once thought you possessed pales in comparison to the grand vision that now unfolds before you. Embrace these shifts in desire. They are signs of your spiritual growth and expanding consciousness. The universe is guiding you toward experiences that will bring you the greatest joy and fulfillment, even if they differ from what you initially set out to manifest. This brings us to another crucial aspect of effective communication with the universe, the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is not merely a polite response to receiving something you desire. It is a powerful creative force in its own right. When you cultivate an attitude of genuine gratitude, you align yourself with the abundance of the universe. Begin and end each day by counting your blessings. Take time to truly feel grateful for all that you already have in your life. This practice shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is present, abundant and beautiful in your experience. As you do this, you will find that more and more things come into your life for which to be grateful. Moreover, practice gratitude for your desires as if they were already fulfilled. Give thanks for the perfect job, the ideal relationship, the radiant health that you seek to manifest. Feel the emotion of gratitude as intensely as you can, knowing that in the realm of pure potential, your desire is already a reality. This practice of preemptive gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to communicate your desires to the universe. It aligns your entire being with the frequency of abundance and receptivity. The universe responds to this vibration by bringing you more experiences that match this feeling of gratitude and fulfillment. As you become more adept at communicating with the universe, you will find that your life takes on a quality of magic and wonder. Synchronicities will abound. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting exactly the right people to assist you on your journey. This is not mere coincidence. It is the natural result of your aligned communication with the infinite intelligence that permeates all of existence. But remember, my friends, that with this power comes responsibility. As you learn to consciously create your reality, it becomes increasingly important to examine your deepest beliefs and intentions. Are you creating from a place of love, abundance, and a desire to contribute to the greater good? Or are you motivated by fear, lack, or the need to control others? The universe will respond to whatever seed you plant in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. Therefore, it is crucial to cultivate thoughts, beliefs, and intentions that are in harmony with your highest self and the greatest good of all. As you do this, you become a powerful force for positive change in the world. Your very being radiating love, joy, and abundance to all those around you. Let us now explore the concept of living in the end. This principle is at the heart of effective communication with the universe. To live in the end means to inhabit, in your imagination and your emotional state, the reality where your desire is already fulfilled. It means to think, feel, and act from the perspective of already being the person who has received that which you seek. This practice requires a radical shift in consciousness. Instead of seeing your desire as something in the future that you must strive and struggle to attain, you recognize it as a present fact in the invisible realm of potential. Your task is simply to align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with this already existing reality. Begin by asking yourself, how would I think, feel, and act if my desire were already fulfilled? What would my daily routine look like? How would I carry myself? What kind of conversations would I have? Then, to the best of your ability, begin to embody these states in your daily life. This is not about pretending or engaging in wishful thinking. It is about recognizing the creative power of your consciousness and choosing to align it with the version of reality you wish to experience. As you consistently live from this state of fulfillment, you will find that your outer world begins to rearrange itself to match your inner experience. Remember, the universe does not distinguish between what you imagine with feeling and what you experience in the physical world. By living in the end, you are sending a clear and consistent message to the universe about the reality you choose to inhabit. The universe, in its infinite responsiveness, will bring about the conditions necessary to match your inner state. As you practice living in the end, you may encounter moments of doubt or uncertainty. This is natural and to be expected. The key is not to fight against these doubts, but to gently and persistently return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled each time you choose to realign with your desired reality. You strengthen your communication with the universe and accelerate the manifestation process. Now, let us delve into the power of your inner conversations. Every moment or day you are engaged in a continuous dialogue with yourself. These inner conversations shape your beliefs, your expectations, and ultimately your reality. To effectively communicate with the universe, it is crucial to become aware of and deliberately shape these inner dialogues. Begin by paying attention to the habitual thoughts and self-talk that run through your mind. Are they supportive of your desires? Do they affirm your worthiness to receive that which you seek? Or do they undermine your efforts with doubt, criticism, and limitation? Once you become aware of your inner conversations, you can begin to consciously redirect them. Replace thoughts of lack and limitation with affirmations of abundance and possibility. Instead of dwelling on past failures or current challenges, focus your inner dialogue on the successful achievement of your desires. Speak to yourself with the same kindness, encouragement, and unwavering belief that you would offer to a beloved friend. As you master the art of positive inner conversation, you will find that your entire vibration shifts. You begin to radiate confidence, certainty, and positive expectation. This vibrational shift is instantly recognized by the universe, which responds by aligning circumstances and opportunities to match your new inner state. Remember, my dear friends, that learning to communicate with the universe is not a destination but a journey. It is a process of continuous growth, refinement, and expansion. As you practice these principles, you will experience moments of profound alignment and miraculous manifestation. You will also encounter challenges and apparent setbacks. Embrace all these experiences as opportunities for growth and deeper understanding. Trust in the perfect unfolding of your journey. Know that every experience, whether perceived as positive or negative, is guiding you toward the fullest expression of your dear potential. As you maintain this trust and continue to align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the reality you wish to create, you become a powerful creator with the universe. In closing, I invite you to step fully into your power as conscious creators. Recognize that you are not separate from the universe, but an integral part of its infinite intelligence and creativity. As you learn to communicate clearly and consistently with this intelligence, you unlock the boundless potential within you. Go forth with courage, with joy, and with the unshakable knowing that the universe is always listening, always responding, always guiding you toward the highest expression of your true self.